friends, my name is Koolio and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're taking a second look impressions video for Raid Shadow Legends. Now for full disclosure, this video is part of a 5-video series sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, so thank you so much to Raid Shadow Legends for supporting the channel, and if you're interested in trying the game out, then head on down to the description down below and click on my special links, and if you're a new player, you'll get 100,000 free silver, 50 gems, 1 free energy refill, and a free champion, the Executioner. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the video. Now, disclosure out of the way, okay, I want to let you guys know literally my personal thoughts on Raid Shadow Legends, because I played this game back when it first launched, like in early access, and I personally really like this game. I think the main reason why I enjoy this game so much is because of the cool character designs. There's a lot of, you know, cartoony anime style games out there. There's not a lot that kind of take this more gritty 3D animated characters and make it look so good and run so good. Now, this is my personal favorite character, Turvold. This is actually a character I got through a summon that I did, I think probably about 3 or 4 months ago when I was playing the game just for fun. I did not get this guy through the sponsored video. I just want to let you guys know that. I literally got this guy on my free-to-play account, and that was one of the coolest moments of any gacha game. And then here's a couple of other characters I got. Shaman, I believe I got her simply just by playing through the game for free. It was either her or it was Jizzo, this guy right here, who, by the way, I definitely built this guy way wrong, which I'll have another video where I talk about building characters the right way and what not to do, because I kind of ended up messing this guy up. But he's definitely a really cool character, and then this is the guy that I got when I first started playing the game. You get to pick a character. I got Gaelic. I really like this guy as well. He's got a really great AoE attacking. And then I've actually gotten a couple of brand new characters. I've got Tyrell. I actually just barely got this guy, and I'm going to set him up to be my new defensive character on my team. The Bloodfeather, Kaitis, and then Romero, I think, is actually one of the newer characters that have come out recently. Tashada, Knight Errant. They really do have some of like the coolest characters I've seen in the game, and I especially really like this guy. I want to talk to this guy because he has some of like the cooler mechanics in the game and how like building your character can and using certain characters can really like reflect and change your overall team. Now this guy's skill ability, the one I want to specifically talk about, I think it's Death Denied. Yeah, revives this champion with 30 HP and attacks all enemies after being killed. Now, I set this guy up. He is an HP style of a champion. I set him up with a lot of life-stealing abilities. So he keeps him alive for a really long time, but if he ends up reviving himself through the Death Denied with 30 HP, he basically will then rebuff himself back up, healing himself all over again. He's a really, really fun character. Now, I've got a lot of them to go through. I don't want to go through all the different characters, but I do want to go through and show you guys the index, because they're planning on adding a lot more a lot more champions to the game very, very soon. This is Nyrisan Union. They actually just added the dwarves, I believe, like a month or 2 ago, and it was actually pretty cool that they've been adding in a lot more cooler characters into this game. So let's take a look at some of the champions. Trunda Guilt Mallet. Then we've got the Mountain King level 60, who I want so bad because I think he looks so cool. And then Molly Tankard. This game really does have some of the coolest character designs I've ever seen. And if you've went and watched my old previous video where I talked about this game, the thing that really drew me in, the thing that keeps me on the play, and the thing that keeps bringing me back is their cool character design. So Crypt King Graal. So those are some of the cool characters. There is one more I wanted to show you. The greatest waifu in any game, and that's got to be the War Mother. She is gorgeous. She is amazing. Don't have her yet. One day I'll eventually get her. But then you got guys like this guy who looks just so freaking cool. All right, let's go ahead. Let's head on back. Let me show you guys some of the gameplay. We're gonna jump into the battle system right now. I'm currently kind of running through the campaign. I've gotten to like an area of the game where I've got to go through and kind of start ranking up and upgrading the current team that I have going on. I'm also kind of going back and trying to 3-star a lot of these older ones I've been trying to go through. Now, if I actually jump into this one, it says I have to beat the stage with no losses, and I have to use 2 or fewer champions in order to take them down. Now, these guys are all red. They are the red element, and if you look up here on the top in the center, red is weak against the green electric element, the magic one, or energy, I think is what it's called. Blue is strong against green. Green is strong against red. So we want to take in a green character. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out. We're going to throw in him. Now, again, I kind of set him up wrong. But the abilities and the artifacts I currently have set for him are really, really good. So I don't want to go through and kind of mess up the way that he's kind of set up. So here we go. We're going through. I'm going to try my best to go through and 3-star a lot of my older stuff, but I do want to show you guys some of the gameplay. Now, if you go and actually hold down on all of these buttons and all their abilities, you can actually see what they do. So we got Reaping Blow, attack one enemy 2 times. Then we got Fierce Protector, places a shield buff for 3 turns and a counter attack buff for 2 turns on one ally. The value of the shield is proportional to this champion's defense. So again, you need to build this guy's defense up if you want him to work or want him to do his best. Then we got Ryle, level 2, attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of placing Provoke, debuff for 2 turns, places a 50% chance, 50% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns. So he is my strongest defensive character I've currently got right now, as I'm still kind of working on building up another one, because again, I kind of messed up his abilities. And then my other dude right here, he's kind of like my big, strong attacker. He does so much damage. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually go and throw down the Fierce Protector and give it to this guy to protect him, obviously, but to also give him that counter attack ability. Now he's got a basic Crackling Blade, attack one enemy 2 times, has a 55% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Then you got Ancestor's Power, places a 50% increase attack buff and a 30% increase critical rate buff on this champion for 2 turns. And then the glorious attack, the Juggernaut. This does so much damage. Attacks one enemy twice. Damage increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. If the target is killed, resets the cooldown of this skill. So we're obviously going to go through, we're going to buff our character, giving him as many buffs as we possibly can. And then let's go ahead and attack somebody. We're going to use this ability right here. We're going to take down this middle guy right here. 19,000 damage. Again, it's just absolutely ridiculous. He does so much damage, and I'm hoping that my counter attack will actually work. Okay, it didn't work this time, but let's go ahead. We're just going to attack some of these basic wolves. Now, I could go through and show you guys some stronger attacks, but I want to go through and show you the basics of combat real quick. Because when it starts getting towards like the end game, like really high difficult end game, you really do need to pay attention to the buffs and debuffs of your characters, how their abilities work together, making sure their artifacts are built right. It's incredibly important. I don't think I've ever really seen another game that has such a strong emphasis on like making sure that your characters work really well together, but also giving that option if you want to kind of mix and match things up and kind of have a different style of gameplay. So we're going to go through this. Let's go ahead and just turn on auto, ×2 speed, so you guys can see basically what kind of going through and grinding the gameplay will look like. My character's kind of going through. What I'm going to do after this is I'm going to show you some of the areas that you can go through and kind of do your daily grinds to get the materials that you need to upgrade your character. So there we go. We got some crystals for summoning, got some experience points. Jizzo needs to level up. So let's go ahead and head on back to our champions. Let's go back. We're going to go to the Tavern real quick so I can show you. Now, the Tavern is where you basically go through and make sure that all your characters, like where you go and to upgrade them. So you can upgrade their level, you can upgrade their rank, upgrade their skills, and then you can eventually ascend them as well. So there's a lot of stuff to go through. This guy, I need to go and upgrade him to 5-star, but it requires 4 stars in order to do that. So I do have a few if I wanted to go through and sacrifice them to upgrade him if I really, really wanted to, but I'm kind of saving a lot of these characters because I don't know who's the best and who's not. So I'm a little hesitant at the moment to go through and do some of this stuff. So let's go and upgrade the level for a character. So we got Gaelic here. He's level 39. I'm almost up to level 40. I can use other champions if I want to sacrifice it, but what you kind of want to end up using are these ales or the beer or whatever that you can use that give you increased bonuses. So this is all green. I've got red. I don't think I have any blue, so let's go and actually pick a character that's useful. I've got some red, I've got some green. Let's go ahead and do it on Kaitis right now. He's a new character I just got, but I don't want to waste my beer on anything else. So let's go ahead and drop a couple of these. He's going to get to level 25. Leveling him up, tournament points, there's his stats. We just leveled him up, which is great. Again, we can sacrifice some other characters if we wanted to upgrade his level, but he has to be at maximum level in order to do that. We can also upgrade his skills, which do require specific tombs or duplicate champions to use to enhance each of these different skills right here. And then to ascend a character, this is what I was talking about when it comes to doing your like daily grinds to get the materials needed to upgrade some of these characters. So I need some of these potions. I can't get those potions except for one way. So we'll go ahead, we're gonna head to battle, go to our dungeons, and today's daily dungeon is the Magic Keep, which is perfect because I do need those for Gaelic. So we're going to jump into, I don't think I can beat this one on auto, so let's go ahead and go to this one. This is my actual team setup that I've got going. If I want to, I can swap this guy out for him because he's a universal character, doesn't really have a whole lot of weaknesses when it comes to kind of fighting in this area. So I'm going to bring him in because I really like him as a character. I don't know if he's like amazing or not, but I really, really like his resurrection ability. So let's jump in with him. And I think I'll probably be able to do this all on auto. I don't think I'll have a problem. That's Gaelic's AoE ability. Literally just destroys everybody on the battlefield in like one hit, and I absolutely love it. So we're going to go through and show you guys what these daily dungeons are like and be able to experience a little bit of what it's like to go up against like a big boss, because they'll have one at the end of this too. So, and there we go. Now I do want to talk about the female orc on the far right, and I'm trying to remember what her name is, but she has the ability to resurrect other characters, and so a lot of people recommend to build her using a lot of HP to make sure she has as much health as possible so that she can activate her ability multiple times through a different stage, because it's not just one activation similar to my guy that can resurrect himself, but it literally, like, she can use it as many times as long as she's alive and her cooldown resets. So she's been fantastic. You can see, I think if you look at the notches on her health, she's the one that has the most health out of any character. So there you go, my guy just went through and resurrected himself. My other characters are getting pretty low, and we did it. Took it down, won it. The Shaman is her name, that's what I was thinking. Absolutely love her. So let's actually talk about her for a second. So we'll head back to our champions and talk about what it's like to go through and upgrade a character and kind of focus on it. But I will have a video later down the line where I go a little bit more in depth to this than I am currently right now. Now, with her, I've been focusing a lot on this health bonus right here, regeneration. Heals by 10% every single turn, and then Divine Life gives her increased HP and plus 15% HP self-shield for 3 turns. So she's a character I'm trying to keep alive as long as possible. But if you don't necessarily know how to build a certain character, you can actually go to the reviews. You can read up about like how good these characters are depending on the reviews and the ratings of other players. So you can see she's pretty good with the campaign locations, pretty good in offense, not so good when it comes to the spider den, but you can kind of give a good idea of how good or how high up on a tier list some of these characters are by going and reading the reviews. But if you don't know how to build a character, you can also go to the recommended artifacts, and it'll give you kind of an idea of how you want to set her up. So this one's looking for speed and life bonuses. However, I'm setting her up a little bit of a different way with some more specialized artifacts. And this game has a lot of artifacts. Like, you got speed, life artifacts, you've got, let's see, the ones I've got set up on her right now, Divine Life and regeneration. There's even other ones that you can go through and collect. Let's see, this guy's got retaliation, which again, not the best setup I currently have for him. This guy right here, since he's my heavy attacker, if you look at his total stats, you can see his full stats right here and how much it comes to. So his health points at 14,000. His attack is at 1,447. And I've been focusing on trying to get these offensive runes. And I think I've got critical rate because he's got the ability to increase his own critical rate. So I've been focusing heavily on attack and focusing on his crit rate, which again, I believe I found through the review section for recommended artifacts, offense and critical rate. So another pretty easy beginner thing to do if you need to go through and kind of figure out how you want to set up some of your characters. So you can see also how good he is. Great in the Minotaur's Labyrinth, Clan Boss, Dragon Lair, good at the locations. Overall, this guy is awesome. He's got some really great reviews overall. Now, I did get the new guy, Tyrell. He is a defense hero, so I went and read his reviews, and they recommend they recommend the defense set and the accuracy, which if you go through, that's kind of what I've been building right now is defense and accuracy. Taking a look at his skills, you can go through and kind of figure out why you want to do that. For example, his humble ability, the damage from his humble ability is based off of his defense. Now, there's not a lot of games that actually do that. Most of the time, the offense of your character comes from their attack skill. This character, his damage comes from his defense skill. So that's why I'm kind of going through and setting up and increasing his defense as much as I possibly can. Now, not only can you go through and collect the different artifacts for the characters, there are specialized artifacts for characters that you can get only for specific clans. So for example, I have the banner and the amulet, which can only be used by the Barbarians clan. Now, he is a barbarian. I believe I can set him up with one right now. So probably I'm going to go with, that gives attack 11, 5% attack rate there. This one gives me a 5% crit damage. I think I'm going to go with this one. Equip. Extend. Oh, that's right. I have to extend him. That's the reason why I haven't equipped it just yet. I knew there was a reason why I wasn't able to equip it, but there's a lot of these specialized artifacts that you can collect throughout the game to continually customize your character. But you got to go through and you got to upgrade them in order to unlock certain slots. But I do believe I have one. Yeah, right here. Jizzo's got one on him. This is a lizard man. Defense gives him increased attack, increased HP, 4% increase to attack, and 85 to defense. This guy is a defense character, which I'm really sad that I kind of messed him up on his build, but I love him so much. I think he's so cool. Now you got your artifacts, you got your skills that you can upgrade. Now comes the masteries, which I think, which one do I have built up with masteries? He's got some masteries built up, so let's go to our masteries real quick. Now this is something where you're going to go through and you're going to collect different scrolls through playing the game, through dungeons and stuff like that, to be able to collect to further customize your characters. Now, he's kind of like an offensive character I've been focusing on, so I ended up grabbing the Blade Disciple, which increases his attack. And then if I'm going through this, let's see, increased damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with full HP. He usually gets his attack off right up front, so that will probably be a pretty good one to help kind of take a lot of enemies down pretty quickly. Crit damage increase, and then increases damage inflicted to targets under the shield buff by 25%. So the way I'm building this guy, I would probably drop down the Heart of Glory, but I need some more scrolls in order to do that, which you can get those, again, through the battle system and the dungeon area, which I believe it is the Minotaur's Labyrinth, where you can go through and collect these scrolls, which I'm not going to jump in and do that for this video. So what we are going to do is we're going to do some summons. I've got a couple of ancient shards, but I'm going to go through, head to the shop, and we are going to buy... We're going to grab our free one, and then I've got gem shop, and we are going to drop a couple on the big shard pack, because I got 900. We'll go ahead and drop that. Purchase successful. Let's go ahead and collect those, and we're going to go do some ancient shard summons. Wish me luck. Here's the summoning rates. For the ancient, there's a 0.5% chance. With the sacred, it's currently at 6% chance, which I think is like the double summon rate that they're doing right now. 58 out of 60. I might have to go through and sell some. Let's just drop some silver. Let's just do that. Cross your fingers, you guys, that we get something like amazing. So here we go. A couple of 3 stars. Judicator, the Witness, Temptress, Master Butcher, the Raider, Gnarlhorn, and Zelota. That guy's cool looking. Holy crap. Whoa, that guy's way cool looking. The Undead Horde. He is a support character. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a sleep debuff on them. Armored Scales places a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of this champion's max HP for 3 turns. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for... Wow, that's really good. I like that. Horrid Dreams attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn. Has a 75% chance against enemies under debuffs. So this is a character that you'd probably drop off your Hypnotic Gaze or your Armored Scales first, and then try to drop off these Horrid Dreams and stuff to try to put them to sleep. So basically, this is a character that not only supports your team, but really, really messes up the enemy team too. So that's cool. I may have to add him to my team. So let's see. We've got 4 more, and I've got room for 2 more spots, which I need to go through and start selling or using my champions to upgrade other ones. So look at this guy, Mystic Hand. He is kind of freaky looking. Look at his tattoos. All right, summon one more time. And we got ourselves... Ooh, we got ourselves a dwarf. I don't have a lot of dwarfs. The Perforator. This guy's got Vermin Slayer. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff. Harden Tips. Now, this is the thing that I want to talk about too before we end this video. Is some skills have the potential of becoming even stronger once you've ascended your champion. So this one, instead of ignoring 50% defense, attacks one enemy, it also grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. So that's kind of cool. Look at this guy. He's pretty cool. Not a whole lot of reviews. Probably not the best champion to add to my team. Probably going to sacrifice him for my other champions. So, well, there you go, you guys. That is Raid Shadow Legends, my first, second-ish impressions video for it. It's been a long time since I've actually made a video on it, and I'm going to be coming out with more videos down the line, some guides focusing on champion progression, PvP, the new faction wars, a lot of stuff that this game already has, things I haven't even been able to cover in this video. Well, guys, again, if you want to download this game, make sure to head on down to the link down below, especially those special links. And if you click on them, and if you're a brand new player, you'll get 100,000 silver, 50 gems, a free energy refill, and a champion known as the Executioner, which I want to say he's the Knight's Revenant, and he's got to be, oh man, I remember seeing him. Is it this guy? Oh, I got it on one try. So there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more mobile gaming videos coming in the future. Thanks, my friends, and I'll see you next time.